Hey guys, Roman and Reaper here, just back with a quick little review. So, I just got finished watching Samaritan on Amazon Prime Video. For those that aren't aware, it's a more grounded superhero movie that's been in the pipeline for a while. It was meant to come out back in 2020. It's been delayed a few times, but after the acquisition of MGM by Amazon, it's finally seen a release on Prime Video. So, with it being a straight to streaming film, there's that sort of like skepticism. I was interested in this, it sounded really cool. And, the reviews have not been great, they've been kind of mixed to poor, but I wanted to check it out, go in with an open mind, see if my anticipation was worth it. So the film follows Sam Cleary, a young boy living quite poor with his single mum who's doing the best she can with what little she has. One day, Sam discovers that Samaritan, a superhero long thought to have died in an epic battle, may in fact still be alive. So as I said, the reviews for this have been quite mixed to poor. And you know what? In terms of the mix, I'd actually say my feelings lean more positive, because I actually didn't mind this, but I kind of quite enjoyed it. Yes, it's full of cliches, like, we've got poor kid and being raised by a single parent who learns life lessons from a reclusive old man. And typical superhero battles of good versus evil. But you know what? I like this kind of more modern, kind of grounded spin on these tropes. And I really like the world it built up. It starts off kind of interestingly enough with a, kind of classic comic book opening of, telling the story of Samaritan and how he died. But, and then flashes forward to the present day, where we meet our hero Sam, and I say it's in these moments it sort of starts off on kind of an uninteresting foot. Like, yeah, the animated opening was cool, but it was very exposition heavy, it cools down a bit from there, but there are sort of exposition devices sort of sprinkled throughout, as is the case in any film, let's be real. And then we get these scenes of Sam idolizing Samaritan and falling in with his band crowd. It's really nothing that we haven't seen before, and it really wasn't interesting me much. And then after a bit, once we actually get to meet Samaritan and we see him do his thing and him and Sam begin to bond, the film really begins to pick up, because I really enjoyed all the scenes Sam and Samaritan, his neighbour Joe, had, and they had a real good chemistry. Sylvester Stallone plays Samaritan, and he brings this real, gruff and grizzled machismo, as you'd expect from Stallone. But he also has a kind of gentler side to it, with the fact that he's, kind of a hermit and lives on his own, fixing things, and hates people. And that's contrasted wonderfully with the more childlike optimism and enthusiasm coming from Jalen Walton as Sam. He's very good here. He's a real charming lead, and these two make a great pair. They have some of their scenes have decent chuckles to them. Obviously nothing gut busting, but I did chuckle a few times. And some of their scenes have real heart to them, like Sam talking to Samaritan about why he chooses to fix things. It's a real nice pair, and I really liked seeing their development. On the flip side of things, we have the villains, who are just incredibly one-dimensional and boring. They worship Nemesis and, plan to do some evil inspired by him or something. There's a sort of thing going on about like a class divide, how they see Nemesis as a defender of the poor while Samaritan protects the rich. It's not the boys level deep or anything, but it's there and it's interesting, I guess. And it does sort of get a bit more grey in Act 3. But honestly, these villains are so dull that... But you know they're bad, because their leader, Cyrus, he's got tattoos, and one of the tattoos is Nemesis's insignia. And not only that, he has a Viking beard and a bleach blonde mullet. 10 out of 10 characterization right there. Yeah. The film is fairly competently directed. It's nothing flashy, but I think that sort of lends itself well to the more grounded world of the film. Like, we get a decent shots of the city skylines and cars passing by and trains going by. And it's shot in sort of like kind of muted grey colours, which, it's not like a grey filter or anything, it sort of works well for the tone of the film. And, you know what? There are also some pretty decent action scenes as well. That anytime Samaritan's on screen fighting bad guys and using his powers, it's so cool and you get really pumped up. And Act 3 delivers a lot of that, like a lot. It takes the earlier, smaller fight scenes and really dials them up. It's so epic and exciting, and it's so such an adrenaline rush. You get really pumped up anytime Samaritan fights bad guys. This final act is great. It's slightly let down by some dodgy CG and green screen backgrounds. But honestly, this is the film at its strongest. It starts off uninteresting, takes a bit to find its footing, and ends on a really strong note. And there's also a pretty good plot twist as well. I won't spoil it, but it really helps hit home the message and really ties it all together in a wonderful way that's logical with everything that's built up, but also flips everything we know on its head. And yeah, those were my thoughts on Samaritan. All in all, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. A decent, kind of cliche, grounded superhero movie. If this seems like your sort of thing, definitely give it a go. It's on Prime. Don't forget to do the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget the subscribe button if you're new. Let me know down in the comments. Have you seen Samaritan? What did you think of it? Did you like the world? Would you like to see more of it? And what did you make of that twist without spoiling it? Don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.